I'm very curious if you have decoded what made you who you are. Because you seem like a person that is a CEO, but under transition at the moment. So what made you the person that was self-confident, but not really vulnerable at the beginning? A salesperson, marketing person, but then a transition towards something else. Who expected things from you? Like, just wanna fill in the puzzle here.
So it is getting personal, but it's fine. In the sense that when I grew up, I was always surprised in my school that I was by far the student with the most degrees of freedom. In the sense that when we had play dates, I would just all my classmates, they were supposed to call their parents and ask if they could have a play date after school, and then they would get a yes or no, and if they did, then they would more often than not get a no than a yes. They were expected to come home and do certain stuff. And for me, I got a degree of freedom that was extreme compared to them because I just had to let my parents know where I was and then be home for dinner. And the same in the evening. It seems like a strong thing, but on the other hand, it's a non-committed thing. And then a very personal thing, I remember a long time ago, I don't know how old I was, we had gone on a vacation somewhere in Germany. And the last night before we were going home, I woke because I was afraid they would forget me. And so this kind of the hindsight of freedom in the sense that you don't feel the care. And it continued up in schooling until when I started high school. I got a friend there, that was a female friend, but her parents were both teachers, and they took me under their wing as well. So it was actually her and her family that kind of had the expectations of me and pushed me forward more than my own parents. My own parents, they loved me and accepted me as I was, and there was no expectations of me doing anything. Right? So they just wanted me to do whatever I wanted, and that was fine. But it also was a low investment from their time. So we lived together, and they were my parents, but they didn't really shape me. They let me shape myself, and then I met her, and her family helped shape me. So, and I think her expectations was what pushed me to start studying. And then I just came out in relations to actually working and having roles in relations to different works where I naturally progressed and was a success. It gave me the momentum to move on, and the combination of what we talked about, the curiosity and the playfulness, pushing some innovation even when I was very low in grades and not a powerful person in the organization, but still coming up with some significant ideas. So I think that was the momentum I felt and the energy I felt. And honestly, even though I left the first consultancy I started in a bad way, the core idea of the business was mine. That was thoughts I had created, that I had shared with the other guys, how to think and so on. They were just really good at putting it on formula. So at some point they could see that it would be better for them that I was not there, so they could start delivering on that, because it was, again, actually ahead of its time. And that gave me the momentum to move on and keep building and keep growing, and knowing that I actually really provided value. And I think it came back even stronger when I started doing presentations. I remember I was sitting in London at one point. I had done a presentation in a community, and the guy comes over to me saying, "Hey, you don't know me, but I've been watching your presentations for the last couple of years you've been here. And I just want to say, I don't know how many times you have saved my ass."
That's very sweet.